so good to be back here in South Carolina, home of the Gamecocks.
The iron Keyshawn swords in from the weak side, however, and flushes that down.
There it is.
Driven hard. The Gamecocks will take the series against their rival.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Gamecock Insider. I'm your host, Derek Scott. On this week's show, we've got coverage of Gamecock men's and women's tennis. We'll get into some swimming and diving. We've got some football and some baseball coverage as well. So settle in for the next 30 minutes as we get you back in touch with what's going on in Gamecock country. We start with our Prisma Health injury update on the Gamecock baseball front. Dylan Eskew, Carolina's Friday starting pitcher, in his second outing of the season, pulled a muscle in his back. He had some spasm issues, had to come out of that game early. Still kind of waiting to see what the status of Dylan will be for the next weekend series and how soon he'll be back. Doesn't look like anything too long term, but certainly muscles and backs for pitchers can be tricky. That much is for certain. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep you updated. And that, as always, is brought to you by our friends at Prisma Health, the official sports medicine providers of the Gamecocks. Now, as you can see behind me are the tennis courts of the University of South Carolina. The men's and women's teams both have gotten their outdoor seasons underway. Most recently, they both had their SEC openers here in Columbia. Let's take a look at the results. So a great start to the SEC slate for the men's and women's teams. And if you want to keep up with them and maybe come out and catch them in a match, just go to GamecocksOnline.com, go to the tennis page and check out the schedule tab and see when they will be playing here at home. We're back with more of Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street, where Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's game day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day Guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now, in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together, no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, if you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
Business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
We're back on Gamecock Insider. I'm Derek Scott. Whenever we see a student athlete that is recognized for their hard work, I think we all really get excited about that. Whenever we see a walk-on become a scholarship athlete, that's a really special experience as well. And our cameras were there recently to see that very situation take place for a member of the South Carolina football program.
Hey, we've been getting to know each other every single day. Find somebody, get to know them. You got 1.5 minutes to get to know them, and then we're going to have 2 people give us an example. Go. You got to move quick. Go. Wrap it up.
Hey, Mazio. I need you to help me on this one. Coach Day is going to call on you, okay? Or he's going to call on Colin. Colin, what'd you learn about Mazio? And then obviously after Colin says that, you're gonna have to get up and talk about what you learned about Colin. Say whatever you learned, but then I need you to say, and I also just learned from Coach Beamer that you're now on scholarship. Got that? Can you handle that? It's a big responsibility, bud.
And his older brother goes to Louisville, or went to Louisville.
Huh?
Fast. I got to know Colin. I know Colin since I got here. He's a middle child. His older sister about to get married. His younger brother about to be an HVAC technician. He transferred from Alabama to come here, and I also just learned that you are now on scholarship.
So congratulations to Colin Bryant, who with his hard work is now on scholarship with Gamecock football. Let's turn our attention now to our Terminix Pest Player of the Week. We're coming right back out here to the tennis courts. Connor Thompson is one of the best players on the South Carolina men's team. And in those 2 SEC opening matches that you saw earlier in the show, well, he was the stalwart for this team, getting victories and upsets at that over 2 nationally ranked foes. Big wins in singles and doubles for Connor and helping South Carolina move to 2-0 in SEC play. So congratulations to him. He is our Terminix Pest Player of the Week. And we're back with more of Gamecock Insider after this from Learfield.
Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for just $379 a month for 39 months. Toyota, let's go places.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now, in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together, no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, if you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
Good hard work has earned Tahina Paupau the title of Colonial Life Academic Athlete of the Week. A member of the women's basketball team, Paupau is a sociology major at South Carolina. This week's Academic Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Colonial Life. Colonial Life, the benefits of good, hard work.
Guarded by Kitts, trying to drive in the lane. Ball knocked out of her hands by Breezy Hall. Gamecocks come out of there with it. 2-on-2 the other way. Ahead to Malaysia Fulwiley. Catches and scores all in one motion.
That's your Sansbury. Did you see that play? Malaysia Fulwiley is a regular in this spot on the show, and she comes through with another nifty-looking basket for the Gamecocks in their win on the road at Ole Miss. Now, Gamecock swimming and diving season has completed at this point in time, but boy, it has a special year indeed over in the pool. And for South Carolina, no better time to recognize the season they put together than by celebrating the seniors on Senior Day.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for just $379 a month for 39 months. Toyota, let's go places.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player, like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Welcome back to Gamecock Insider, everybody. If you followed our show, you know we have a habit of telling you what is going on Gamecocks Plus. If you haven't been on there recently, well, there's a new Tailgate Talks episode that has dropped with DeMarco and Garcia interviewing Gamecock greats. This time they caught up with former South Carolina baseball standout and current Major League All-Star Christian Walker.
Well, let's talk about your time at Carolina. I mean, being like, how the hell did you come down here from Pennsylvania? Like, talk about your recruiting process and what brought you here. What was it, Coach Tanner?
Yeah, a little bit for sure. To be honest, I didn't know much about the university. Grew up just outside of Philly, like Northeast ball. I always tell guys, like, I felt like I was tricking them when they made me an offer. Like, I committed without taking a visit. It was like they put an offer out there. 2 days later, I committed. Like, I thought they were going to find me out. Like, ended up taking a visit later and loving the campus, and came down Halloween weekend. That was my unofficial visit. Yeah, so I was done. Yeah, it was like this is the best decision of my life. But playing travel ball down south. Fall ball, once it got cold in PA, we'd go to Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. So traveling around, ended up, in front of the right people and just right place, right time, I think.
Was it like did you have other SEC offers? Like, could you have gone just about anywhere?
Eventually got letters from a bunch of places, but I wasn't interested in like weighing my options and committing and decommitting or anything like that. It was like, this is once I saw campus and got a feel for it, and I came down and watched, they were running fall scrimmages, I think. The whole vibe was exactly what I wanted.
It's a different world now.
It is a whole different world.
Now kids love getting recruited. Like the whole aspect of like, hey, I want to go on this visit. I want to take pictures in the uniform and this and that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a show.
It wasn't like that. Like Coach Spurrier wasn't going to give you an offer unless it was something serious that he really wanted to consider. He wasn't going to give you an offer just to get you on campus to see you. Like when he offered you, he wanted you to be here. I bet Coach Tanner was the same way.
Yeah, I definitely don't regret my decision or any of that. But part of me wishes I would have just seen some other schools and just taken. Right, you get 5 at the time. You got 5 official visits, and it'd have been cool to see other campuses and what was going on.
Did you even know where Columbia, South Carolina was?
Nope.
I had no clue.
Nothing.
I had no clue that it existed.
So from travel ball, like where would you, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, what type of tournaments did you play?
A little bit in Myrtle Beach. We ended up playing, after I committed, we ended up doing a tournament where we played at Sarge Fry.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I felt like, this was like my home field already. I was in
Come
high
at
school.
Me, bro. Come at me.
Yeah, but no, I didn't know anything. I remember seeing them on like regionals and College World Series, and once I dug into it, the stat that caught me was leading the league in home. There was like 2 or 3 seasons in a row they led the league in homers. It was right.
Justin Smoke freaking probably helped.
Yeah, James Darnell, Reese Havens, that whole crew was what I followed.
Had a good run. I mean, when we both came to, probably similar situation. Like, Steve and I knew nothing about South Carolina when we decided to come here. Like, Coach Spurrier was the only reason that we came.
Yeah, I mean,
not much of a history for football in South Carolina before we came here. And
you're
Coach Spurrier.
You're from Tampa?
Tampa, yep.
Where are you from originally?
From Orlando.
Okay.
I remember coming with my parents on, as they were not necessarily moving me in, but kind of like looking over the campus. And we went to some restaurant, and people are like, "Oh, Garcia, what's going on?" Not many Garcias in Columbia. I'm like, my parents are looking at me like, "Are you sure you want to come to this?" Not a lot of Spaniards out here, not a lot of Cubans. I was like, "Yeah, well, you see that girl right there? I kind of." You see that one over there? How about that one there? I'm coming here.
They're all good. But I mean, the big thing that Coach Spurrier harped on was, you want to come here and do something that's never been done before. You can go to, well, he could have went everywhere. I was a 2-star. I didn't get many offers. But could have gone anywhere and done something that's already been done. But come here and do something you remembered forever. I mean, hell, you won 2 national championships here, played in 3 College World Series. You laid a pretty good legacy and path forward for what's coming for Coach Maneri and all baseball here in South Carolina. So
yeah, there's something cool about when a coach says something like that to you, right? Like,
100%.
Let's do something. Like they got the vision. Let's do something that's never been done. As a young player, it's like,
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to be a part of that.
No
but I mean, we asked Melvin, we asked all those guys, and they all said the same thing. Like our recruiting class, they were like, "Yeah, Coach Spurrier said go to these other schools that's part of their rich tradition, or come here where we've historically sucked."
It's just
start your own thing.
Let's change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was his pitch at Florida. I mean, Florida, I guess, didn't have too much of history, as much of history as had before them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he came in there and lit the place on fire. But talk to us about like kind of your development during your time in Carolina. I mean, you came in and played kind of right away. But talk about each year how you continue to stack days. It's a process. It isn't like come in there and right off the bat. But talk about your process and your growth during your time here.
Yeah, I think what helped me was not knowing much about SEC ball. I knew the clout that it had, and everybody wanted to go down south and play baseball, but I didn't. It helped me not put too much pressure on it, where coming down there wasn't much in my head of like, do I belong here? Am I good enough to play here? It was just the next step. It just always felt like it was, just just part of the process. And it seemed like there was an at the time I was playing third base. So it seemed like there was a chance to play third, and right in started, playing third base in fall scrimmages and all that. And hitting was my thing. That was like, my dad always said, like, he was like, you're going to hit your way into a
guy
lineup.
over here, though,
Yeah,
too.
That's recent, though. That's
don't let it slide.
Yeah, ask Coach Tanner about that. He kicked my ass at third, big time. But yeah, I felt like, I was confident in my offense. And right away, like, there's hazing, there's like, there's older guys, there's younger guys, but pretty immediate, it was like, oh, this is where I want to be.
Right.
This is
what I want.
It just
this
felt
is
right.
why I came here.
Yeah, there wasn't much of like, can I do this or anything like that. It felt, super natural.
Yeah, tell us about the team. Like you were saying earlier about your roommates. Tell us about your roommates, kind of how that evolved and kind of how the friendship grew. Like y'all, I mean, we hung out a bunch in college. Y'all had a fun group. Your baseball group was a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, we were joking around with Roth, but like we competed with you guys in drinking games, volleyball. Like it was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But like it was always kind of cut up. But like push came to shove, like football wanted to beat baseball, baseball wanted to beat football. There was always like the little edge that we had.
Yeah, that's fun to think about. When I think about my roommates, like, so coming in freshman year, you're in the dorms. It's
East Quad.
Yeah,
East Quad.
Yeah, East Quad.
I drove by there today on the way over here and showed Memphis. I was like, hey, that's where we used to live. He's like,
that's
the pink building.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's still pink. Yeah.
It's still pink.
Yeah. Well, how did it happen
a
on
lot
those
of the bricks? If only the bricks could talk. Thank God they can't.
Yeah, my roommate. So you just get dealt roommates. So random selection, 4 guys in the room. Ended up staying with those 4 guys even when we moved off campus. Like it felt right. Like we had a good bond. Me, Evan Marzilli, Bryson Selleck, and Tyler Webb.
Yeah. Some studs in that group too.
Yeah. It was a blast, man. It was good mix of like some guys would hold us accountable, couple party guys in there, but yeah, fun. We had like 2 or 3 rooms together. Thank you.
Where'd y'all live after you moved off campus?
I went to the retreat.
The retreat's still going.
Yeah, we drove by recently, and my wife was asked. It seems like so many new buildings are popping up on campus now. So we were trying to get a feel if people still love living out there, or if going towards campus is the play now.
I think it's a blend. I mean, I had some stuff closer to downtown, closer to campus and downtown, but I know that the retreat and all that stuff over there, they're all
retreat pool parties were electric.
Like, the other ones are different names now. I forget what.
Was it the Woodlands? Was the
other
spot?
Olympia.
Yeah, we were in Olympia Mills. Lots of fun pool parties in Columbia, South Carolina. Well, it's 115 degrees here in the summer, so you got to find a pool to get to, anyways.
I want to ask you real quick. Did you play any other sports when you were growing up? Will you normally ask all the guys we have? Did you play anything else?
Basketball, football, baseball.
Okay.
I was trash at basketball.
Yep.
Like I was a good athlete.
Hustler, yep.
Yeah. Like
great defense.
Yeah, catch
good
me in the
passing,
paint.
good
It's
control,
bad news, but couldn't shoot. Football was the other thing that I really liked. Like I was this size in high school, but ended up breaking my leg pretty bad. And my dad, I had to talk him into letting me play. Like did Pee Wee football growing up and all that, and took some time away. And I think he always wanted me to focus on baseball. So school ball came around, and I had to convince him to let me play. And shredded my leg. And
what position?
All of them. I started out as a quarterback. Couple QB sneaks later, I was the running back. Punter, kick returner, kicker. It was like just keep me on the field, little linebacker. Like I was just wanted to be out there.
Now in high school, you came here to play third base, first base. Like in high school, were you pitcher, shortstop, center fielder, or did you play third, first? Like where'd you play in high school on your baseball team?
So I was a catcher for a while.
Okay.
Got to high school, and my head coach in high school, Tom Sergio, actually played for Tanner at NC State. So he was a baseball guy, messed around in pro ball for a little bit. He ended up moving me to third base. Just I forget the reason at the time, but felt like it was a good spot. Like didn't want to lock me up behind the plate. Looking back,
freshen your legs up.
Catching might have been the play, but
let that go.
Yeah. So third base, mostly infield, not a lot of outfield growing up.
You don't look like an outfielder.
Yeah, it's not my body type.
It's none of our body types.
Yeah, this rig doesn't move well in the outfield.
This rig.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player, like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's Game Day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street, where Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options.
Back to wrap things up on this week's edition of Gamecock Insider. Time for our On the Road segment brought to you by our friends at Toyota. Looking ahead to the midweek, it's the Darius Rucker Invitational. That is a golf tournament hosted by our Gamecock women's team. But since they're going to Hilton Head, they are most certainly going on the road. Later on in the weekend, Gamecock men's basketball wraps up its regular season on Rocky Top, taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. And the Carolina softball team will make its SEC debut, and they're headed out to Oklahoma to take on the Sooners for the first time ever. And that is On the Road, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. That'll do it for us here on Gamecock Insider. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Derek Scott. We'll see you next week.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.